booktube. It's Missy. It's getting hot. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I have a tripod that I was jumping up and down, and now I'm really hot. So, let's get started, shall we? First things first is, since I do borrow most of my books from the library, and I can't insert pictures of books into my videos, I decided what I would do is I would pre-film them, so I'll probably have different outfits on, but it'll be one video at the end, so that way I can talk about the books that I've read so far and how I like them, and then obviously at the end of the month when I do my monthly wrap-up, you'll be able to see all the books that I read without having the no covers. I'm going to do it this way. I don't want to be distracting, but if I'm standing, I feel like I need to dance. Just like when I'm in the shower, I need to sing. Or I sing all day long, but well, that's not the point. Okay, the point is we're talking about books that I've read so far that I enjoyed, because this is going to be my monthly wrap-up for February 2014. First of all, I read, let me get closer. I read Last Dance by Linda Joy Singleton, and like I said, the first book is about a psychic and her grandma, and how she's worried that this new apprentice is going to take her place. The second book, she is trying to find a cure for her grandma, and I mean, it was such a fast read. I read it in 5 hours, so I really liked that, and I'm excited to get to the next book in the series. The next book that I read and finished was Alice in the Country of Hearts, and I was saddened that there was no killing in this one. Everybody lives in this book. Amazing. And Alice is starting to slowly convince people that, you know, life is important and that you shouldn't take it for granted. Next, the next book that I've read in February was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and with all of his books, they're very strange. So this one was definitely strange. It's about a boy who lives with his family, and this all takes place when he's 7. Well, the majority of the story is when he's 7, and then you get little tidbits at the end and in the beginning where he's an adult. But he is remembering what happened in his childhood when he met this like strange, mysterious family that lives at the end of the lane of his farmhouse. And the people that he meets, there's a mom, a grandma, and a daughter, and they're ancient. They've been around since the beginning of time. And he goes on, it's not an adventure book, but he goes on like a little quest with the daughter and ends up being brought into this little war that is between these ancient people and another ancient race, and he kind of has to figure out what to do now that he has let them out, almost. It's not like they're imprisoned, but he kind of let them out, and so now he has to face the consequences and deal with that for the rest of his life on what happens. And it's so strange. You're going to have to just read my Goodreads review if you want me to make sense, because this book was just, it was so amazing, yet at the same time completely weird. Like, I did finish reading Amulet, and this is the Stonekeeper's Curse, book 2, and it was really good. The first one, the kids have to find out where the mom is and save her. In the second one, they are looking for a cure because the mom got poisoned. The mom got poisoned in the first book, so they need to find the cure in the second book. The elves of this land want the power. Elves are really scary in this book. They look, can you kind of see that? They look really mean. They're so mean. And they have to fight to, here's another picture of it. They have to fight. Oh, there's a cute bunny! So it's almost like Lord of the Rings, because her amulet is kind of like the one ring. That's what the elf is trying to get. He's trying to get that amulet so he will have the ultimate power of the entire world. And her and some of her friends are going to fight back. Anyways, that's it for now.
Hello again, and this is the continuation of my February wrap-up. So I did finish Monstermologist by Rick Yancey, and it was really good. It's about a little boy named Will Henry who moves in with this doctor, this monstermologist called Warthrup. And the reason why he moves in with this doctor is because his mom and dad have passed away, and the whole story is about his adventures with this doctor and the monster, the Anthropophagi. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, he is 12, I believe, in the book, and at the very beginning, at the very end, it starts off with another man who is reading these old journals of Will Henry's, and at the end he wants to know if this is a true account or if this is complete fiction. And it was just an amazing story, and I felt so bad for Will Henry because all he wanted to do was get the doctor to appreciate him, and the doctor just never seems to live up to that. You know, he's always abusing him verbally, and he's just a hard man to love. But you can tell throughout the entire book that the doctor has some compassion, and it was just a wild ride. And when it talks about monsters, I mean, this was a horror book in the oldest sense, where there's no slashers in it. It's just old, scary monsters, cannibal monsters who eat people. And the doctor and Will Henry and a whole bunch of other people have to find these monsters and take them out. And it was such a good read, and I loved it. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, maybe 5 out of 5. I'll have to double check on my Goodreads. Next, I read another little piece by, and I kept saying her name wrong, but it's Kate, not Katie. Kate Carius Quinn. This is her debut novel. I wanted to like this book. And this could be a review all by itself. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was extremely confusing. The entire book is broken up in flashbacks and poems. There are no chapter pages. It's just what the girl is going through at the time, what she thinks about in the past, how it relates to other situations, what her little poems that she wrote in the past say. And the girl's name is Annalise, and at the beginning, when you, like the first, I want to say the first or second chapter, it talks about the hunger, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, is this like a vampire book? Like, I thought this was a slasher. It's not a vampire book. I don't even know what kind of book it is. It is, they don't say. They never say if it's a demon or what kind of monster she is or will become. They don't say. They just, the whole story is woven through lives of hers and other girls, and it was just so confusing. It was so confusing. I did like 2 quotes from the book. One of them says, "I am the Tin Man," and if you read this story, you'll understand why that makes sense. And I thought that was a beautiful way of putting it. But again, the book was just so hard for me to follow, and it took me almost 3.5, 4 days to finish it, and it was just, I don't know. It dragged. It dragged and dragged and dragged, and I was just glad when it was over. And I feel bad because I don't like putting down authors, but I just did not like that story. And then lastly, for this little wrap-up section of the entire video, is White Cat by Holly Black. And oh my gosh, okay, when I first started reading this, I was like, ew, this, I don't like it. Well, the protagonist is a boy, which, you know, isn't bad, but and his name's Castle, and he is part of a worker family. And workers are people who have the touch, and the touch can be luck. If they touch you, they can give you luck. If they touch you, they can give you the sense of love or dread. If they touch you, they can transform you into something or make you die. And back in the day of this story, the workers were like royalty, and they owned the cops and they owned the government, and everybody was afraid of them. And then people started, like, you know, fighting back. And so now the government wants everyone to get tested to see if they're a worker. And there's like a political thing going on in the book where they're trying to get the people to get tested, and the workers and their family members are like, no, that's, you know, unconstitutional. You shouldn't know that. It's new privacy, and it's against my privacy and stuff. But the whole book, and I can't wait to read number 2 because it's going to get deeper into this, the crime families of these worker people, and what his ability is. And at the beginning of the book, he doesn't think he has one, but towards the middle, he finds out he does. And at the end, it's just spectacular. And you get to see what his role is in this new idea that he's got power, and he's really excited because, you know, his whole life he thought he was a non-worker and that he was just going to be the same as everybody else. So those are the 3 books that I've read since the last little wrap up. And of course, I will be continuing this in 2 weeks, but the books are due this Friday, and so I wanted to kind of give you a little wrap up of the 3 that I've read since the last one. Hi BookTube, it's me again, and as you can tell, it's another day in this wrap-up video for February 2014. So the last couple books that I read this month, and I am very sad that I had missed a few on the list. I was in a slump. I couldn't get out of it, and some of those books that I read just dragged. I'm sure you already know what that is, since it's another little piece. That took a long time to read, and I couldn't read anything else because I was so miserable with that book. But anyways, let's continue on with the last couple books of this wrap-up. I read Ink by Amanda Sun, and oh my gosh, I am so excited because this book, there is a sequel coming out this year, I think, and then there's another one in the making for 2015. And when I first got the book, and I've had this book for a while just sitting on my shelf, I think I borrowed it sometime in December, which is really sad because I know there's people out there who want to read books, and I am, again, hogging them. But it's about a girl named Katie who moves to Japan to live with her aunt, and I don't want to really ruin it, but it was epic. It was epic, epic, epic. there's a couple pieces of the book that may seem familiar, you know, the angsty, brooding boy who is supposed to be dangerous and please stay away from me. But I like the turn of events in this one because, yes, he's dangerous, but he's also trying to be protective, again, which is another theme with the whole brooding love interest with YA books. But it was still really, really good. I enjoyed it. And in the book, and I'll show you a little bit of it, and I found this and I was just so excited, but let me see if I can show you how it works. Where is it? Where is it? It's the best. Here we go. Okay, so can you see closer? Can you see that? And the bird is up and it's flying. And then there's another little bit. You see the leaves, and the leaves scatter, and they're moving. They're twirling around the pages. Okay, so basically this book is about her love interest. It's a drawer, and through his calligraphy and everything else, his pictures come to life. And she has to, you know, find out why his pictures come to life and why she's so drawn to this particular boy in her Japanese school. And I liked it. I mean, I can't say anymore. I am excited to read the second book that comes out this year. Also, if you go on Amazon, and I hope once this is up and running that this offer still stands, but you can get, I want to say it's Ink of Shadows, or Shadow Ink, or maybe just Shadows. I'm awful. When I edit this, I will actually put the title of the book here in the corner or whatever. But the 0.5 of this, where it talks about Katie and Tomohiro separate, you know, not together in the story, but you know, I'm messing this up. Their lives before they met each other. That is what the 0.5 is. So the little novella before this book starts. Again, it's on Amazon. It's free, to my knowledge, still. And I will link it down below so you guys can grab it if you're interested in reading this book. All right, the next book that I read, well, it was an ebook. It was an ebook. It was Dead and Gone, and that was by, what is his name? Jonathan. It was by Jonathan Mayberry. It was 2.5, so the one that was supposed to be read before Flesh and Bone, and that is a book I didn't get to finish this month. I am really sad that I didn't finish my Rotten Ruin series. I really wanted to get cracking on it, and the little novella in between those books have really got me pumped up, so I do want to continue to read it in March. And I also listened to 2 audiobooks in my car on the way to work. That one was Succubus Heat, and that was the 4th book in the Georgina Kincaid series by Rochelle Mead. That one was, you know, they're all really good, but it was just another take on her life. In this series, you meet Georgina. She's a succubus. She has great friends, 2 vampires, Peter and Cody, an imp that she is friends with named Hugh, and her archdemon of the Seattle area, and that is Jerome. And with this little posse of people, Georgina finds herself getting trapped, not literally, but in all of these horrible situations. And the theme of all of these books is why. Why does she keep getting chosen by these different immortals to be, you know, tortured all the time? And again, not literally, but she just has to deal with a lot of things that happen to her that no other immortals have to deal with on a daily basis. And each book gets better and better because it's just more crazy things that happen to her and her friends and the people that she loves, mortal and immortal alike. So if you want to check out a really good, I mean, I can't stress it enough, you have to read these books. They are just amazing. And so I did continue on with book 5, which is, let me look at it, Succubus Shadows. That was book 5, and that one was a doozy. I was getting really, really, really upset at what happened to Georgina in this book. And the last one, the 6th one, I will be listening to in March. I can't wait. That is the finale, I believe, of the series. And I hope Georgina gets a happy ending. She needs a happy ending. She's just such a good person that if she doesn't get one, I'll be very sad. But that was my February wrap-up. I hope that this extremely long and confusing video edits well when I'm done at the end. And let me know what you guys read in February, and if there's any books that you've read before that I read this month that you want to talk about, because I love talking about books. That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye.